Okay, all right. Hello, everyone. Welcome along. Glad you could join us for at the start of a brand new tournament. Very exciting. New tourney when? Asks Captain Awesome. Very, very soon, my friend. Very, very soon, we are going to get this one underway. So, yeah, this is the group stage draw for the Quailfinch Indigobird Quarrel, which is our latest tournament. And yeah, it's going to be a group stage to kick us off. We have got 16 groups of 8 players that we're going to find out the lineup of very, very soon. So yeah, 4 players from each group are then going to advance through into a best of 3 knockout round, which is going to determine the tournament champion. So very exciting stuff, of course, to do the group stage draw. So let's get up the ever amazing spreadsheet. Here we go. This is what you've all been waiting for. So, yeah, we have got, as I say, 8 groups here, and yeah, we're going to be not 8 groups, sorry, 16 groups, which we're going to go through. So I need a few more groups here, which I'm going to add in a second, but yeah, we'll go through a little bit of explanation of the seeding. So we've got 4 pots here. We've got pot A, we've got pot B, we've got pot C, and we've got pot D. And yeah, this is going to be how we're going to draw things out. As I said, 8 players per group, and since there's 4 pots, we're going to get 2 from each pot into each group. So there's going to be a little bit of balancing. But it's not going to be over the top, so there should still be some classic group of death that we're used to getting, and yeah, that's always an exciting thing to see. I can see we've got Fun Bun joining us and already being told off for not doing homework, which is absolutely classic around these parts. But yeah, as I said, we need more groups because there's more players than this. So let me just, through the magic of copy paste, we're doing this live. We're doing this live, folks. There we go. And you know what? Let's shift everyone else. We can fit this all in. This is how well prepared I was. I'm sure you could tell. Very professional here. Okay, let's there we go. We zoom out a bit. That's good, sort of. You're going to see all the behind the scenes, all the behind the scenes stuff, which is just fantastic. Okay, this is good. This is exactly how things are supposed to go. All right. Keep talking amongst yourselves. Keep arguing about how old Captain Awesome is. And we'll get there. We'll get there soon enough. Do you know what? Let's move things around. So you can go up there. We can squeeze this all in. We can squeeze this all in for sure. There we go. All right. And yeah, we're going to need to rename some of these. Okay. What comes after H in the alphabets? There we go. There we go. Got to make sure everyone's got a spot in this tournament. We've got 128 players. We need space for all of them. So there we go. We can move this over. We can move this over a little. Oh no, we don't want to move that. We'll move this. That can go up there, and actually, do you know what? Let's shift everything over slightly. Excellent. Okay. We're pretty much there. Except we can't see all the names now. If I move it up there, is that better? I promise you, it was supposed to be better planned than this, so I can only apologise. But this is... We're doing it on the fly. We're doing it live. Okay, there we go. I think that should be okay if I scroll up a little bit. Bring that down a little bit. There we go. Do you know what? We can get rid of this because actually we need some space. We need some space for the other window that's going to come in. Okay, lots of stuff going on in the chat. Good. I'm glad you're all keeping yourselves entertained. Oh no, this is the first stream Ryan's ever joined. Well, I'm sorry it couldn't be more professional. But there we go. Okay, yeah, let's shrink this down a little bit. There we go. There we go. That looks better. Does it not? Amazing. Amazing stuff. Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, we've got 4 pots. We're going to be drawing 2 from each pot into each group, and that is going to give us 8 players in each group. Now, normally how we do things here, we normally start from pot A, and we work our way through B, C, and D. But I'm going to mix it up a bit. I'm going to mix it up. It's boring. It's boring starting with pot A every time. So we're gonna start with pot D, because pot D, you deserve to pick first. We've already got some team names coming up, or some group names, I should say. So yeah, is Group D going to be the group of death? Group F for the respect paid. Group I for indigo bunting, for sure. No Group Q, we're kind of just short. Not quite enough. What are the specific pots? That's a good question. So yeah, it is sorted by ELO. We've done, as is standard, a rolling average over the last 28 days. Took a rolling average, sorted from highest to lowest. So players in the same pot should be roughly equal levels of ELO at the moment, or in the recent history at least. And yeah, in theory that will give us slightly balanced groups. But as I say, we're still going to get some groups of death. But anyway, as I was saying, we're going to start with pot D, and we're going to work our way through from there. So everything looks good. Something's going to break, because it always does. But let's see. So first of all, we've got a name to pick out of the hat. And first name out of the hat, it is Scott CS. And I'm going to shrink that down a bit, because that is far too big. But if we put it there, I think you can all read that. Excellent. All right, so Scott CS, you're going to go there into Group A, and we're going to work from the bottom up. We're going to work from the bottom up. So that is the first name out of the hat from pot D. And we'll pick again. And we've got the Determinator. So how we're going to do this, we're going to go through the groups one by one, and then we're going to roll back. So once we put one player in each group, we're going to then roll back round to Group A. So we'll see them gradually start to fill up as we get through. Captain also saying all the groups should be named after a Wingspan bird. That is a great idea. There are only so many birds to go around, of course. We name all the tournaments after birds. Q was a very challenging one for me. I had to get quite creative here. And then, of course, got the Wingspan time clock, which also uses bird names. So, yeah, we probably would exhaust those pretty quickly. But, yeah, I will try better next time. I apologise, Captain Awesome. But we've got some more names to draw, so we're going to go for the next one. And it's King Pleb going out here into Group C. Very nice. Next up, Smelly Cat goes into Group D as the first name. And moving on, Palindrome comes out next into Group E. We're going to speed through this a little bit, and then, of course, it's going to get more exciting once these groups start to flesh out about Eva there going into Group F. Gradog going into Group G. This is what I live for, when you get someone with the correct letter. I want stage draw software. We have stage draw software at home. Oh, thank you very much, Groove. That means a lot to me. Fox and West goes there into Group H. Next up, Lord Devastator into Group I. And Group J is going to get VR WizKid as the first player. Moving on, we have Release the Birds going there into Group K. And the basic B. The basic B. Lots of those. Lots of those, but this one, the basic B into Group L. Next up, it is JC Shoyu, Group M. I should say as well, if you're watching in the chat and you see your name come up, feel free to scream and shout and let everyone know, because it's very exciting, of course, when your name gets drawn and finds out what group it is going in. But next up, we've got Danny MQ into Group N. Penultimate group, Michael G goes into Group O, and then last up, I'm going to say this is G CeeLo. G CeeLo going into Group P. So there we go. We've got one name in each group, and we've got 7 more to go through. So we're going to go through. There we go. I can see VR WizKid. Very exciting. Group J. And we're going to find out who these guys are getting added to their group. So half a pot D done. We're going to keep going. Rorohas joining Scott CS into Group A there. Next up, Goldfinchy joining Determinator into Group B. Next up, I Am Benjels. I Am Benjels goes into Group C alongside King Pleb. And we have Gabe, who I believe is a relative newcomer to the server, so welcome. If this is your first tournament, good to have you here. Alongside Smelly Cat there in Group D. Next up, it is Rob going into Group E there alongside Palindrome. And we have Jessica with all of the E's. Enough E's to go around for everyone, but you're in Group F, unfortunately not Group E. Group Crochet. That's going to be Group F's name, perhaps. The Honey Eater comes out of the hat next into Group G alongside Groudhog. And then we have Blaziken 072 into Group H there with Fox and West. The Gooser is the next name out. And the Gooser you're going to join Lord Devastator in Group I. Then we have Fungus Among Us into Group J with VR WizKid. Stuart GMT9 into Group K with Release the Birds. Rex Cow, you're going to be joining the Basic B in Group L. Group M, it is going to be Zipzilla alongside JC Shoyu. Nithin there is coming out of the hat into Group N, which is amazing stuff. You'll see some of the names there are not disappearing. That is a consequence of group stage draw software at home, so maybe we'll take a look at that. But we should only have 2 players left coming out of this hat. The last one is Tay K here, Group O, or I should say second to last one is Tay K. And last but not least, it is Woodpecker Joe going into Group P. So yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at why is my conditional formatting not working? Who knows? Oh, that's not going to make it better. Okay. Yeah, that should really be working. Cool. I love it when conditional formatting doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Okay. Right, we might just have to roll with that. Unless this is going to fix it. No. Okay. Yeah. I feel like this formula should work. Oh well, we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it because yeah, as I say, I don't know if I do that. No, it's not gonna work. Never mind. Do-over. We're asking for a do-over. Have you tried turning it off and on again? That normally works. Hang on. Do you know what? Let's I have just the screen for that. Technical difficulties, please stand by as we try and fix this. The thing is, I remember this breaking last time I did one of these. Last time I did one of these draws, and then I fixed it, and then clearly it broke again. So, yeah, not entirely sure why why that is the case. But okay, let's hang on. I've got an idea. Can I fix it? Am I going to be Bob the Builder? That's a reference that many people probably won't understand. No, okay, I don't think that worked. But it may be. Hang on. Oh, no. Aha. This probably would be more exciting if you could watch it, but I think I know what's going wrong. Okay, there we go. Let's switch back. It's fixed. Bluebird of Death. Okay, let's close that. There we go. It's all fixed. It's all good. You can pretend that didn't happen. Conditional formatting plus Wingspan music equals Zen. Well, that's good. I mean, Wingspan ASMR is the up and coming format. So, there we go. We're done. Finally, we finished pot D, which means we can move on to pot C and pray to the not Wingspan gods, but Excel gods or Google Sheets gods. Maybe this would have worked if I didn't cheap out and used Microsoft Excel, but there we go. I'm not sponsored by them, so anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna start with pot C, and this is where things get more interesting. As I say, as we start filling up these groups a little bit more. So we've got our first name from pot C coming out of the hat, and it's going to be Comtrues. Comtrues there joining these other two players in Group A. Next up, Zobi-Wan Kenobi into Group B there. There you go, Zobi. Next up we have Loris, one of two Lorises. I think we have got both Lorises. We're going to find out when we get into... I'm going to assume pot A is where the other Loris is going to be, but Loris number 1. We're going to call you that because you came up first. Into Group C there. Next up, Avery. Avery the Pigeon into Group D. And then we have Oki. Oki 6. I don't know where the other 5 Okis went, but Oki 6 into Group E. Then Red Rogue 14. All of the numbers. There you go. Group F for Red Rogue. Then Blind Squirrel is going to be first from pot C into Group G there. And then Stylo Plume, you're going to go into Group H. Group I, who's it going to be? It's going to be Lakel 93. And then Cope with it. Cope with it into Group J. There we go, very nice. Who's going into Group K? It is going to be a Willy Pizza. There you go, Willy Pizza Group K for you. Next up, we have PH Crux into Group L here. Next out of the hat, it is George V89, Group M for you. Very good stuff. Next up, Mr. Bock. Mr. Bock, who I think I did see chatting in the nest, saying that this is their first tournament, so welcome. Good to have you here. Group N is the one for you. Next up, Weird Owl. Weird Owl, you're going into Group O. And last but not least, Group P is going to get PIW. So very nice. That's half of pot C done. Jesse's asking, sorry, joined late, how were the original pots determined? So it was done on an average ELO rating. So we took the ELOs from the last 28 days, took an average, and then sorted chronologically or sorted, yeah, from top to bottom. And we've got 4 pots. So some amount of seeding, but as I say, we've got two players from each pot into each group. So it's not a full-on 8 pots, one from each pot. Just a little bit of seeding there, but there we go. That's half of pot C done. So we're going to move on to the other half, and we're going to start filling up even more of these groups. So going back around to Group A, we've got Bargoff. Bargoff, there we go. You join Comtrues, Rorojas, and Scott CS. Group B, who's it going to be? It's going to be Sledgo. There we go. With Obi-Wan Kenobi, Goldfinch, and Determinator. Group C. Who's going to join Group C? It is the Tin Peach. The Tin Peach joining Loris number 1, I Am Banjels, and King Pleb. Group D is going to be Black Spice. Black Spice 28. Joining Avery Pigeon, Gabe, and Smelly Cat. Good looking group. Who's going to be joining Group E? It's going to be Nardy Bucks. Nardy Bucks joining Oki, Rob, and Palindrome. We move on to Group F, and we get Isabel. Isabel Nebby joining Red Rogue, Jessica, and Eva. So this should be Group E, because we've got lots of E's going on here. What is it? We've got an E here. We've got, yeah, E's all over the place. So maybe we'll swap those over. But it depends. We've still got 4 more spots to fill. Anyway, moving on. Group G. Who's going to join? Blind Squirrel, Bunny Eater, and Gradog. It is Ben Havens. Into Group G you go. Moving on, Group H, we've got Boba Ganoush. They join Stylo Plume, Blaziken, and Fox and West in Group H. Next up, Scott 66 is going to go into Group I with Kel Lakel, The Gooser, and Lord Devastator. Moving on, Group J, it is WB Nuthatch 93. Lots of 93s. Well, only 2, but it's weird that there's 2. But they're going to join Cope With It, Fungus Among Us, and VR WizKid. Group J. Moving over to Group K is Carl Hungus. Excellent stuff, Carl. Into Group K, where you belong, with Willy Pizza, Stuart, and Release the Birds. Group L. Who's joining Group L? It is Tiago Pereira. Joining PH Crux, Rex Cow, and the Basic B. Group M. It is Stalled Bird. Stalled Bird, you join George V, Zipzilla, and JC Shoyu. Moving on to Group N, it is going to be Hodge 1409, joining Mr. Bok, Nithin, and Danny MQ. Next, out of the hat, we've got IV1738. You join Weird Al, Take A, and McAlgie, and look, we've just got one solitary name on the list. Kestrelli. Kestrelli, you join Group P with PRW, Woodpecker Joe, and Guy Silo. So there we go. Almost halfway done, Captain. Wow. You can drop that almost, because we are halfway done. Very exciting stuff. And this is where, as I say, as these groups start to shape up, we've still got a lot of players left. We've still got 64 to go. We're going to move on here to Pot B. Pot B. So let's copy our names over. Let's go and paste them in the list, and let's pick our first one out. So we're going to roll back round, as before, to Group A. I'm going to pick our first random name out of Pot B. Who's it going to be? It is going to be Neebs. So there we go, Neebs. You're in Group A alongside Bargoff, Comtrues, Rorojas, and Scott CS. Into Group B, we'll move along. We've got Arceus is good, so there we go. Arceus is good, very nice. Into Group B. Group C, you're going to get Maloo. That is a big name coming out of Pot B there. So they join the 10-piece Loris, Iron Banjals, and King Pleb in Group C. One to watch out for that group, I think. Next up, Group D is going to be Mike 316. Very nice. Next up, Group E. Who's going to join Group E? It is going to be JBC999. Excellent stuff. Right, come on. We need someone with E's in their names. I can see a few E's on the list. Who are we going to get? I'll take it. We'll get Matthew. Matthew9890 in what really should be Group E, but is in fact Group F. Next up, moving on to Group G. We've got Spake Me, another big name. Coming out of Pot B, plenty of big names here. We're not even in Pot A yet, but we've got lots and lots of tournament experience coming out of this pot. So this is where, for sure, we're going to get some spicy groups. Spicy groups coming up. Next up, we move to Group H, and we're going to get Mascona. I'll roll with it. Say it confidently, and it's going to be right. So there we go. Into Group H you go. Next up, Group I is Ballet Mage, another huge name coming out of Pot B there. So you go into Group I. Next, we move to Group J, and it's J Lim. I mean, what can I say? Rigged. I would definitely have rigged that. But there we go. Into Group J. J Lim. Very nice stuff. We move on to Group K, and it is a Birdwatcher. Is your name too big for the box? No, you just about fit in, so that's good. Into Group K you go, Birdwatcher. Oh yes, Captain Awesome. I think we've had this debate before. If you ask the man himself, I mean, if you meet the man himself, he will confirm that it is pronounced Malou. So, yeah, that of all the names I'm going to butcher today, that is luckily not going to be one of them. Next time, organise the groups by the letter our names will start with. Yeah, I should really not letter the groups. I should just leave them blank and then assign the most suitable letter. But then you miss moments like this. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. But anyway, I'm blabbing on. We're going to move on. Group L is the next one up. Feast for Crows. You go there into Group L. Next up, who's going to come out into Group M is going to be Rick Sissel. Rick Sissel into Group M. And moving on, our next name out of the hat is Owl Standing into Group N. Very good stuff. 2 more groups to go before we wrap back around. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Iruk, another very big name coming out of Pot B here into Group O. And the last group, Group P, it is Awesomeness. Awesomeness into Group P. Very, very lovely stuff. All right. So, we wrap around again. And, yeah, we start Group A. So halfway done, and as I say, still plenty of big names here. Plenty of big names to come out. Some familiar names that I can see in the chat as well. So this is going to get exciting. As we go back round to Group A, who's it going to be? It's going to be Bushnit. Bushnit, you join. Neebs, Bargoff, Commentaries, Rorohus, and Scott CS. Group B is going to get Cheese Dreams. That would have been nice if those two could have got drawn in the same group, but they're going to have to settle for being next to each other. So Cheese Dreams, you join. Arceus is good. Sledgo, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Goldfinch, and Determining. Next up, who's going to join Malou? In Group C, it's going to be Storm Chaser. So you go there with the Tim Peach, Loris, Iron Benjels, and King Pleb as well. Moving on, Group D, it's going to get Egg Sucker 888. We've got a 999 and an 888. That would have been nice if they could have been together, but you'll have to settle there, Egg Sucker. For Mike 316, Black Spice, Avery Pigeon, Gabe, and Smelly Cat. Moving on, who is going to join JBC 999? It is going to be Banelex. Also in Group E, with Nardybucks, Oki, Rob, and Palin Drome. Back-to-back Tasmania craziness, absolutely. Absolutely. One group could not contain all of that craziness, so it's good to have them split up. Moving on to Group F, we've got El Sapo Guapo. There we go, you join Matthew, Isabel, Red Rogue, Jessica, and Ueva, and yeah, there we go. Another E. What can I say? Only 2 more names to go in that one, so we'll see what we can manage. Next up, out of the hat, into Group G, it is... Oh man, do I even try to pronounce this name? Gindry. Yes, absolutely nailed it. You go there. Group G with Spake Me, Ben Havens, Blind Squirrel, Honey Eater, and Gradog. Excellent stuff. Group H, who's it going to be? It's going to be the Flash. The Flash. With Mascona, Boba Ganoush, Stylo Plume, Blaziken, and Fox and West. We move on here to Group I. And it's going to be Scared of Birds. Scared of Birds joining Ballet Mage Scott, Kellakel, the Gooser, and Lord Devastator. Very exciting group. Moving on, Group J, who's it going to be? It's going to be G Trudat. G Trudat, you join J Lim, WB Nuthatch, Cope With It, Fungus Among Us, and VR WizKid. Very good stuff. Just 6 names left, 6 groups to fill. Who's going to go in Group K? It's going to be Sleepyhead. So Sleepyhead, you join Birdwatcher, Carl Hunkers, Willy Pizza, Stuart, and Release the Birds. Very exciting stuff. Next up, Group L. Who's going to be jumping into Group L? It is Michael the Grackle. Joining Feast for Crows, Thiago Pereira, PH Crux, Rex Cow, and the Basic Bee. Good stuff. 4 groups to go. Who's going to go into Group M? It is Zoop Zoop. Zoop Zoop. Joining Rick Sissel, Stallberg, George, Zibzilla, and JC Shoyu. So we've got a bit of a Group Z going on here. Definite Group Z vibes. So, too many letters, but that can be the unofficial Group Z. Next up, Group N. Who's it going to be? It is going to be Hawk Lake. Joining Outstanding, Hodge, Mr. Bok, Nithin, and Danny MQ. We've got 2 more names. Is it going to be Chop or is it going to be Giraffe? It is going to be Chop. Joining Eric, Ivy, Weird Owl, TK, and McAlgie. And that means Giraffe, you are last but no means least out of Pot B. There we go. Joining Awesomeness, Kestrelli, PRW, Woodpecker Joe, and G CeeLo in Group P. So there we go. Zoop and Zip. Let's go. Let's go. Have we got people scared of birds? I would be if I was you. In Group Indigo Bunting. That's the best one. Best group to be in. That's the one I'm hoping I get drawn into, but I digress because we've got 32 more names to get through, and it's the last 32 names of the draw. So those of you who are in Pot A, you've been sat patiently waiting for the last half an hour or so as you watch me faff about with conditional formatting. But wait no longer, because we're going to get things underway here with Pot A. So who's going to be the first out of Pot A? It's going to be Emperor Tim. There we go, Emperor Tim. Into Group A you go. Next up, Giraffe, just glad that the giraffe emoji. Yeah, that to be honest, that is quite impressive. I normally either this letter, the first letter, or the giraffe breaks something. So it's refreshing to see. Get the giraffe emojis in chat, absolutely. Next up, we're going to move to Group B, and it is Sitting Pigeon. Now this is definitely too long for my box. Yeah, there we go. I can only apologise, but there we go. You go into Group B. Very nice stuff. Moving on, Group C is going to be Grackling Oat Brant. So this is a very tasty looking group here already. Group C, and there's still one more to go, so it's only going to get tastier. Moving on, Group D. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Ronster. So go into Group D for Ronster. Next up, Group E is going to get Rubenstein. Very good stuff. We move on to Group F, and it's going to be yours truly. Could not have scripted that better. Into Group F for me. Very nice stuff. Next up, Group G. We're going to get Queen Fisher. Queen Fisher into Group G. And Group H, who's it going to be? Is going to be Cop Dog. Cop Dog into Group H. Excellent stuff. Next up, Group I. Who's going to be in Group I? It's going to be Kyle Loves Ducks. We're wasting all of our Ks, and we're not even on Group K yet, so bit of a shame. Bit of a shame, for sure. And I just realised I completely broke Group E, so you can blame me. I'm glad it was me and not someone else, so give me all the flack. No E's in my name. I can only apologise. Anyway, moving on. Group J is next up, and it's going to be Davim, who is in the chat. So there we go, Davim. You're in Group J. Next up, Group K is going to be the other Loris. So we don't have a Loris v Loris matchup. Maybe that's for the best. Maybe as with the Tasmanian Devils, maybe too much Loris energy would break the tournament. So there we go, Loris into Group K. Moving on, Group L, it is going to be Epic Sax Guy, recent tournament finalist. No one's going to want to face him. But there we go. Group L is the one for Epic Sax Guy. Next up, into Group M, it is Egyptian Messi. Very good stuff. Moving on, Group N is going to get Tay Ray, recent tournament champion, of course, beating Epic Sax Guy in the final of the Piping Plover Explosion. There we go. Let's get the tournament name right. So yeah, again, no one's going to want to be in that group, but pretty tough looking one there, Group N. Next up, Group O, it is Shepherd Zero. Shepherd Zero into Group O. And last but no means least, Group P is going to get Fun Bun. Welcome back, Fun Bun. You go into Group P. So we go halfway through Pot A. And this is where we're going to find out the final players for each group. This is the moment you've all no doubt been waiting for. Let's do it. Going back to Group A. Who's going to round off Group A? It is Ethma. Again, keep Ethma and Fun Bun apart. Too much bonehead energy, perhaps. But there we go. Ethma rounding off Group A, along with Emperor Tim, Bushnit, Neebs, Bargoff, Comtrues, Roras, and Scott CS. Group B. Who's it going to be in Group B? It is going to be Clone Pepper. So Clone Pepper joins Sitting Pigeon, Cheese Dreams, Arceus is Good, Sledjo, Sobi, One Kenobi, Goldfinchy, and the Determinator. Excellent stuff. Next up, J-Lig is going into Group C with Greckle and Oakbrand, Stormchaser Maloo, The Tin Peach, Loris, Iron Benchels, and King Pleb. So tasty looking group over there in Group C. Next up, who's in Group D? With Ronster, Eggsucker, Mike316, Black Spice, Avery the Pigeon, Gabe, and Smelly Cat. It is Sim 17. So there we go, Sim into Group D. Moving on, who's joining Groovenstein in Group E? It is going to be Fox Joke. The Fox Joke also in Group E with Thane Lex, GPC, Nardy Bucks, Oki, Rob, and Palindrome. And who's going to be joining me in Group F? It is going to be Vpol 55. Also in Group F with El Sapaguapo, Matthew 9890, Isabel, Nebby, Red Rogue 14, Jessica, and Eva. So another one without an E, but I was the first, so I will take all of the flak. Next up, who's going to be in Group G? It's going to be No Ravens. So No Ravens into Group G with Queen Fisher, the name I can't pronounce, Spakeby, Ben Havens, Blind Squirrel, and the Honey Eater, and Gradog. Moving on, Group H, who's going to come out here? Captain Awesome, one of the chattiest members of chat today, with Copdog, The Flash, Mascunner, Bobacanoosh, Silent Plume, Blazerkin, and Fox and Wes. Very good looking group. Next up, Group I is going to get Herc. Joining Coal Ducks, Skedabirds, Bellamage, Scott66, Cowler93, The Gooser, and Lord Devastator. I just realised Skedabirds is stuck in a group with two people that have birds in their name, so that's not ideal. We'll see how that one goes. Moving on. Group J, who's going to join Davim, G-Trudat, J-Lim, WB Nuthatch, Cope With It, Fungus Mungus, and VO WizKid. Already a really strong looking group. It's just got even stronger as Danko enters the fray in Group J. Very good stuff. 6 more names to come out of the hat. Who's going to be the next one into Group K? It is Mr. Saber. So Mr. Saber joins Loris, number 2, Sleepyhead, Birdwatcher, Cole Hongus, Willy Pizza, Stewart, and Release the Birds. Very nice. Group L, who's it going to be? It's going to be Waterman. So Waterman joins Epic Sax Guy, Michael the Grackle, Feast for Crows, Tiago Pereira, PH Crux, Rex Cow, and the Basic Bee. Very good looking group over there. Moving on, Group M. Who's going to be? It's going to be Geest the Beast. With Egyptian Messi, Zoop Zoop, Rick Sissel, Stallbird, George, Zipzilla, and JC Shoyu. 3 to go. Who's joining Tayray in Group N? It is Dr. Green's Love. Also in Group N, with Hawk Lake, Outstanding, Hodge, Mr. Bulk, Nithin, and Danny MQ. 2 to go. Who's it going to be? Fractal Chess or Othalion? It's going to be Othalion. joining. Shepherd, Chop You Up, Iruk, Ivy, Weird Owl, Take It, and McAlgie. And that means Fractal Chess, if you've been watching, you've been sat there waiting for this moment. So Fractal Chess, you join Funbun, Giraffe, Awesomeness, Castrelli, PRW, Woodpecker Joe, and G CeeLo. And with that, we can all breathe a sigh of relief because we're done. Group stage is complete. So very, very exciting. And yeah, we're going to be able to get this tournament underway very, very soon. So thanks everyone for watching along. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for bear withing the slight technical hiccups, which kind of are par for the course, I think. But what can I say? We got through it. Some very exciting looking groups. So yeah, definitely some cases for group of death to be made for sure. A couple of very strong looking ones indeed. But as I said, there's strong players in all these groups throughout all the pots. So top 4 only go through. It's going to be a slog. It's going to be a difficult one. I wish you all best of luck. And yeah, keep your eyes peeled. We'll get this one open with all the groups and everything very, very soon. So yeah, look out on the Discord. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Take care. Best of luck in this brand new tournament.